Anything else to say on this topic?
No, I'm scared.
Fear.
Hello and welcome to episode 19. We took a little hiatus, just to let the suspense build, let you guys really get into the season before you got our take on everything. Just friendly reminder, we are graduate students that are extremely busy in balancing all of our schedules.
And it's graduation season.
Yeah, we really want to get everything to you. But we're super happy to debrief the first couple weeks of the WNBA season.
Yeah, first 2?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
First 2 weeks. And a lot's been happening.
Yeah, let's start. What are some themes that we're seeing that we want to get into? Who wants to take that?
I don't know. Should we can? Okay, I was saying right before we turned this on that in the broadcast last night for the Wings Sky game, one of the stats that they put up or things that they had, I guess, whatever the analytics were showing that the away teams have been having more success than the home teams so far. Yeah. Okay, I don't know how many how each team has played 4 games at this point.
Yeah,
so it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
they were I think the broadcasts were 70% more more and I was well, the sample size here is really small.
So I think all the patterns I can't tell if in 3 more weeks they'll all be completely different. But
Doesn't Jill Blackman teach you correlation is not causation?
Yes, true. Data.
We don't know what it means, but yeah, I and then I feel what we were also talking about is because there's only been 4 games, it doesn't feel like there's a clear leader yet in terms of who's gonna be kind of taking the league by storm.
I feel like everybody, I'm contender. I watched another game, I'm contender. Everybody's a contender.
And it's amazing to think about. I don't know, I feel the product is so good already coming out of the new CBA, and then you have these new expansion teams, and you're and you have new roster spots, a bigger roster, and you're just whew, this talent is high, which is why it is so much more competitive. I think seeing the Tempo beat the Liberty in overtime
that was crazy.
That's great for the league. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's amazing for the league, and it's also something that I truly never would have called.
No,
I never would have.
4 weeks. How many weeks ago we were maybe
not hot on that.
Yeah.
And I think with what we predicted with the Valkyries and the Tempo, I almost feel we just need to
swap,
flip, because the Valkyries have been really successful, and I mean actually both of them have had their hot moments.
Yeah. I feel the Valks are just such a well-coached team.
It's really
I'll say reigning coach of the year.
No, really, it's gonna be amazing. I think to watch them develop, and I think there was also chatter about who they put on the roster and who they left off the roster.
Right.
If you've seen that clip of Kate Martin. That was actually so.
When she touched down in LA.
I got emotional
it's
about.
Girl, you don't have to explain yourself.
I know.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, it's it's just.
She's playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's getting minutes.
Yeah.
Which once again, that's another great pro of the new CBA of having those hardship contracts, because when somebody goes down, they're with the team and they're ready to go, and they can be implemented more seamlessly into the roster and into the scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of people going down.
Oh my gosh.
We have to talk about.
No, they can't catch a break.
The Caitlin Clark.
Oh, I thought you were.
Did you think he was trying to say?
Well, I was gonna. Yeah. That's a great.
There's a lot of people.
Great segue. There's been multiple injuries. Some we obviously. Actually, none of the injuries that we're going to talk about on this episode could have been predicted for different reasons.
Yeah.
One, Rakia, that poor girl cannot catch a break this year.
And she was having again, it's had been 4 games or whatever, but she was having a great season.
No,
so
she looked
so good.
Such a
leading scorer
guy. And the Sky can't catch a break either.
No. And then they lose, like, the first game that they play without her?
At
their home opener.
But I will say, I thought that JC Sheldon played well. Like,
I
think
like
she's
JC
stepping
Sheldon.
into her role, and it's cool to see her get minutes because I feel like she has been moving from team to team.
Yeah, and she's a very fast player. Like, she plays with a lot of speed and a lot of aggression. And I think, like, that's kind of the person that you want to, like, step into a role like that. Especially if it's going to be, like, she came off the bench last game. Yeah. So that's kind of what you want, is, like, a pick-me-up. Someone who just, like, speed up the game a little bit and make decisions. I just feel like, I think specifically the Rakia situation is hard for me because, I mean, everyone saw the stuff that she's been going through, like, personally during the Unrivaled season. And this is just, like, I don't know. I feel like I would have picked, not that I would pick that to happen to anyone, but if I, like, had to pick someone, Rakia would be my last choice because she's just
Doesn't deserve it.
there's just too much going on in her life.
ACL, it's just, like, such a hard injury to, like, mentally, like, emotionally come back from, as well as physically. And, like, I mean, she definitely will, but it's just, like, such, like, just knowing that you're at the beginning of, like, such a hard journey, I'm sure is, like, taking, like, a really big mental toll.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even get a chance
Yeah.
to, like, especially when she was just, like, trending up. Like, she
Yes.
doesn't have the chance to be like, well, this is, like, what I have to show for of this season at least. Like, at least I played this amount and got, like we're right at the beginning, so.
Yeah, it was just hard to see. I think that, like, some of the... I think, like, the way that people have been handling injuries this year as well has been very interesting, especially with all the talk around reffing.
I was going to say, then Natasha Cloud comments are fascinating.
Yeah, because it was a no-contact injury, and oh my gosh. And Natasha Cloud went into the press conference afterwards and had a lot to say about reffing for that game. And I think, like, we were kind of talking about it. I think we all kind of agreed that it's not that her comments were misplaced, it's that maybe that specific situation wasn't the best indication of, like, the greater issues in reffing that were happening in that game.
Right.
But I think, like, it's been really interesting. It's been really interesting to watch players this season, like, reckon with injuries and then have that in position next to the reffing issues. I feel like people are, first of all, are still definitely trying to figure out, like, how to play with these new rules.
Yeah.
And also, injuries are hard for everyone to begin with. So it's like weird. I feel like half the time people are like, oh my gosh, like, they're calling everything, like, I didn't even touch her, I can't catch a break. And then half the time they're like, the refs don't have control of the game, people are getting injured.
Right.
It's just, like, it's just interesting to watch people, like, watch the new rules sink in and see how people are reacting to everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So, moving on to, should we talk about our next injury?
Yeah, I'm so curious about
I am
that.
fascinated.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Like Caitlin?
Yes.
I don't, like, what do you think is
Well,
happening? I don't understand.
I feel like we need the broad timeline.
Yeah, let's set it up a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. Basically, Caitlin, well, she got her back adjusted and left, and the first mention, I believe, came in the game. Was it the game against the Sparks, or was it against the Wings?
It was against the Wings.
Yeah.
It was, like, I think it was...
Early on.
It was very early on. She left the game, and the team was like, oh, she just went to get her back adjusted.
Right.
And everyone was like, what?
Like, yeah, she just is
Hold
always
on.
kind of, like, doing that.
No.
You know how it is when you leave the middle of the game to get your back adjusted, right?
She was like, it's just like an injury that's always been there for me, or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're
I
like,
knew she never missed a game in college.
Right.
Right, and so...
To go from that, and then obviously to go to last night where she didn't play against the Fire at all, and
because of her back.
Right, because of
But it wasn't listed as
stiff. What'd you say?
But, like, she wasn't listed.
Yeah, she wasn't
Right.
listed. It was the morning of. Apparently, she woke up and her back was stiff, so they didn't want to take any chances. And again, I think the PR strategy is interesting there because Steph White was like, yeah, like, it's really no big deal at all. Like, we're just
Right.
trying to get ahead of it. Like, and just like make sure that it doesn't develop into anything else, and like we're just doing kind of like managing her load and things like that. But I think what's interesting too and really frustrating for fans that want to see Caitlin play is the Fever did a similar thing last season with her groin injuries and her leg injuries, where they were like, it's no big deal, like she's just going to take it day by day, and then it ended up she missed out like 2/3 of the season essentially. So I think that is why people feel skeptical, and it raises a cause for concern, because when you have somebody like Caitlin Clark that obviously drives viewership and so heavily,
ticket sales, like they can charge. I have been to Gamebridge and I've watched her play in person, actually against the Wings before Paige was there, but and it was a great game. But I'm like, I know how expensive those tickets can get.
So that's why I think that from their mindset, it makes sense to be like no matter who, I feel like she could like break her leg. I hope she doesn't, God forbid.
Yeah.
But like, and they would be like, yeah, it's like day by day. Like you're just not trying to jeopardize if people are going to show up or not.
Yeah.
Like,
so is it just like this issue of transparency then, like for fans?
Right.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I just find it to be. I think that is my issue with it, and like, if people listen to like no off season, like I think a lot of the reporters at The Athletic were confused because they were like, we have been talking about Caitlin's health the entire offseason.
Right.
Like that's some of the only questions that we've been asking about her to the organization, and never once did they ever mention that there might be anything wrong with her back.
I think what's also fascinating is that after her rookie year, which was like an all WNBA season, I think maybe she was lower in the MVP conversation, but was still like not a serious runner, but like getting her name thrown around.
Right.
She bulked up a lot because obviously she was kind of getting pushed off the ball, and that's a whole other officiating conversation for another day about, I don't even want to touch on that, but she bulked up a lot, and I think that's when she started to see those nagging injuries with her leg and her groin and hamstring, whatever it was.
Especially with her back, it's like, okay, like, is she lifting too much? Like, is the training contributing to these like load issues?
That's
or
what
like,
I mean. I think when you like put muscle on, it's like a really you have it's like such a balancing act of like how that's going to affect the rest of your body and like your lower body, and and I think to what you had put in our notes, I think it's fascinating because her shot hasn't looked right from three, and I wonder if that is because like her mechanics shift because she has put on more muscle, or what the case is, or maybe it's the back injury, I don't know, but something it does seem a little off.
Yeah, I think I wrote like her, obviously she's coming back from an injury, clearly she's dealing with a new injury.
But she had so much time off.
Yeah, I'm like, our new injury, I don't even know how to call this a new injury. I'm like, but like she was 1 from 7 from 3 against LA, and 2 for 9 against Dallas.
What game did they lost, but she did have a good game.
She had a good scoring game.
They played, who did
lost?
Let me pull it up.
Was it the Mystics?
Mystics, yeah. She dropped like 32 points or something.
I don't know what her three.
She was like, she took a lot of shots. I don't know what it was from 3, but I think she was still only shooting like
40.
She was shooting
right here
around 50.
She was
or
7
less.
for 17.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not amazing efficiency.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Obviously, if you're putting up 32 points, it's like, I'm not gonna go as far as to be like, she's not shooting well.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, I think Kelsey Mitchell also had a big game, and her number was maybe also 7 for 17 or something extremely similar.
Yeah.
So they were.
She was 4 for 8.
But from
3.
But 10 for 25.
10 for 25 field goal.
So.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean I think like for me, the thing that I am curious about is like why. Obviously, like, we don't know for sure why the organization is being so secretive and quiet about these injuries. I'm also like, she woke up and her back felt stiff.
Do you think there's like a difference between when Steph White is like oh, she had a back, she woke up with stiffness, it's her back, she just like had a back thing. And then like the other like reporters are saying like, oh, it's a strategic, calling it a strategic management plan. Like they're like, oh, we're told it's a strategic management plan. Is that the same as like having an injury versus like load managing?
Right.
But see,
So like
that's the
you're
thing.
able,
Like,
what is
we
the
don't
difference?
know.
Yeah.
And how am I supposed to discern that when you're reporting that she has a back injury and you're not saying that it's like they're lumping the two together. They're like,
Right.
oh, it's load management. She has a back injury.
What?
So is it load management or is
like,
it that she has a back injury?
The first home game, right? AZ Fuds had out, and they were like, I feel like they kind of made it clear, like it's not, she didn't have a new injury, but like she has a history of injuries, so we want to keep it like, I don't know, it was something about like load management.
Mhm.
This one, it's like management, but also she woke up with something, like
Right.
something happened. So I'm like, that's not,
And she woke up with the same thing she left a game
yeah.
to get adjusted. I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like the messaging around this is, I find it confusing and it makes me like skeptical.
Also, like when it's so confusing and there's nothing clear, like all I'm seeing is like crazy like theories and speculation. It's just like conspiracy city. And I'm like, yeah, I actually don't know the right answer, so it's like it's not even like I can be like, yeah, you're completely wrong. I mean, some people are having outlandish takes. But it's like when you don't give a clear like as an organization like answer or like let the fans know what's going on, like they're gonna like run wild.
Yeah, and I think like this goes in with something that we've talked about before, which is maybe not explicitly on the pod, but is like some of the organizations, like the PR strategies from organizations that we've seen have not accounted for this at all.
Mhm.
And actually have gone about things in a way that I would argue made things worse.
Mhm.
I don't understand how the like how we're not prepared at this point, like honestly.
Yeah.
And I think this is like,
For the fever.
Especially for the fever.
You know
yeah.
that
You
you're
know
like,
how your fans were.
yes.
100%. And the transparency is, I think, ultimately better, no? Like, I think it's like, maybe it's like people are gonna buy more tickets to the games if they think Caitlyn might have a chance to play. But I think in terms of like long-term brand and fan loyalty,
Yeah.
you want to be as transparent as possible because you don't want people like yeah, people might show up no matter what if they think Caitlyn's gonna play, but you don't want an organization that's like this, or you don't want a fan base that's like this organization doesn't communicate with us. I don't think that like keeps you
Right.
engaged with your fans.
I also think that's honestly a little bit, wow, I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is almost a little disrespectful to the Fever fans.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
crazy as they are, don't come for me. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, I'm afraid of the Fever fans. But, like, as crazy as they are, like, I think you need to give them a little more credit than that. Like, they have been showing up for games.
Yes.
And they showed up for games last year when they knew Caitlyn wasn't
Yeah.
going to be playing.
Yeah.
So if this is why they're making these choices, I feel like statistically, like the data, it doesn't back up the decisions they're making.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah. They're gonna be don't beef with your fans. Like
No,
100%. You gotta be real with them.
it doesn't make much sense to me. I think like this leads into a bigger conversation that we know that we want to have at some point about like media, the WNBA, media being responsible in covering the WNBA understanding what it means to be covered in a legitimate way.
Yeah.
And like the PR for these teams really plays into that, and like
And the responsibility kind of from the media and from these organizations to the fans and how that like works together to trickle down, I feel like,
Yeah.
to them.
yeah, I mean, this is like this is a business.
Yeah.
wait, okay. No, wait, go. Finish.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, okay, I was looking up, I saw this tweet from Christine Brennan, shout out Medill alum. But she was saying like you need honesty and transparency, like in this situation, right? Obviously she wrote her book, she's covered Caitlin Clark. And she said that in the first 4 home games for Fever home attendance, last year it was an average of 16,560, which was like a slight drop from the year before. And obviously Caitlin was injured most of that season, but it was like still only a slight drop. And she said the first 4 games of 2026, it's been 17,000 something, then 15,673, then 14,500, and then the most recent was 14,010.
It's dropped.
It's dropping, yes.
You think it's because Caitlyn?
Well,
they're not-
I don't. She just put the stats like as like they are like the hard numbers, but like
What do
10
you
hours ago she said the story. I'll just read the whole thing. The story of the Fever and Caitlin Clark is simple. She's more than a basketball player. She's an entertainer. People pay to see her like she's the star of a Broadway show or it's her concert. That means honesty and transparency are crucial, especially with attendance dropping. And then like 10 hours later, she just put the numbers that it's dropping. It's like that's why I think he's saying it's like the organization.
Yeah, so you think it's the organization's
I think
communication
I think I mean their communication is
dodgy.
definitely poor. Yeah, like it's poor. Yeah.
She's
But,
also
like,
not performing as well.
I
Like
don't
people want to see the deep threes and like her three shots. Like
falling. I mean, yes, but she still has like a fun kind of like in that game when she wasn't shooting her best. Like it wasn't like you're like this is boring. She still has like the kind of like flashy energy, and she's always gonna be kind of like
and she had that last minute shot in the Mystics
Yeah,
game
I
to
was
send
gonna
it to
talk about
overtime because obviously she had that like wide open opportunity that she missed against the Wings, and I was kind of like at this point maybe it's a rookie thing, I don't know what it is, but like Kelsey Mitchell was looking more clutch than her in those like final game moments to get points on the board, but then obviously that shot at the end of the Mystics game, I was
didn't
like,
fall.
all right, like
right.
right, like we're back.
So bad. Yeah, she's like still fun. Like it's. I still think she's like fun, and she still has like the entertainer aspect, even when her shots aren't falling.
Yeah,
She's kind of like has a personality on the court that's kind of like
you want to see it.
you want to see it. Not,
Yeah,
You don't want to like if you live in Indianapolis, like you don't want to take the chance of like, am I gonna go to a Fever game or am I not? And then like Caitlin Clark has a historic night, like she
Yeah.
could get high and go on a run at any moment.
yeah.
That is history.
And like maybe people still should want to see her like on the sideline, like I don't know, like talking to the players, like but still, I mean, clearly it's dropping like a lot. 17,200 to 14,000 in
that's a lot.
days in the first.
I
week.
mean,
That's like a fifth of.
Yes.
Yeah.
is that since their home opener or is that since the preseason?
That's the first four home games of
Home games?
first four home games of 2026 is what it says.
I wonder how common it is for people to show up for the very first and then be like, we have so many to go to later in the season that
they
it always dips a little bit.
They want to go like when the games matter more.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't know. This is really interesting.
It is. I mean, because if the year before average was 16,500 and of the before it was 17,000, it's like the average like is still higher than like all of these.
The average is still higher, and also if we're only 4 games into the home season, the average could very well end up being by the end of the season.
Like maybe it's like I don't know. I guess we'll see. Again, we're only in like the first 2 weeks, but
Yeah. But I mean, do you think, okay, here's what I'll ask. Do you think if the Fever were to announce Caitlin may or may not play today, or Caitlin, let's say they announce Caitlin has back injury, she's not going to play for the next 2 months, or she's not going to play for the next month. Do you think their numbers stay low?
Yes.
attendance,
Yeah.
Def.
yeah. I mean, again, like last year, she only played like what 12 games. Like she didn't play that many games, and there was a slight drop in the average. Like it wasn't catastrophic. Like it was just like a little bit. But this season, like I don't know. It's like the further you get away from like that first crazy year, it's like I don't know, because I know that some people are like, see, she was just like a moment, like no one.
I
like,
know.
but I'm like, I'm like, she was definitely a huge moment. I'm like, surely she's not gonna like fade away. Like she's still. I'm like, she's not like one and done, like irrelevant. Like that's impossible.
Definitely not.
I also think like the issue I'm drawing with this is like if your goal is to take Caitlyn fans and turn them into Fever organization fans, you're not gonna do that by like keeping people on their toes. Is Caitlyn gonna be there? Is Caitlyn gonna not? Like if you want people to come to, like it shouldn't be your organization should not be one person.
Well, you need to treat them like they're Fever fans and not Caitlyn
exactly.
fans.
That's
what it is.
Yeah. And so being like edging them and being like, oh no, will she play today? Will she not? Like, tickets are expensive. They're not going to drop the money.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're also kind of in like an affordability crisis right now. So like
Right.
people really aren't going to drop the money if they think they're not going to get what they are being told they're going to get.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true of any sport that has a star like in their like on their team. Like people go to the games for like a star. It's not like an unusual thing in sport. Like the W and like the Fever need to like walk in and understand that like they need to like be transparent with the fans when they have this star player who's like elevating all their other players as well. But like I think like we said, if she's on the injury report is out, like I don't know that same number of people are going to the game.
Right. And it's also like just because they go to a game doesn't mean, or just because Caitlyn's not playing in a game doesn't mean the game's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that the Fever absolutely
blew out the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Without
Crazy.
Caitlyn.
Which also like brings up interesting questions for me because I feel like yes, like the Fever have won some games with her there and she's played well, but it's interesting to see their style of play when she's not there because I feel like Aaliyah Boston is more involved. Like AB had a huge game last night, and there's also just like less turnovers on the court. Like I feel like that's a huge thing that I'm watching in her game right now. Like I feel like we were talking about this the first game where I was like, how did she like drop a 3 and then a steal and score, and then I see like the most errant turnover I've ever seen, and it's just like so unnecessary. Sometimes I feel like her basketball IQ is like so high that it's moving ahead of like the actual speed of the game and what she wants to do. Either the other person doesn't get it or it just like doesn't translate as it comes out like actually into play. So it feels a little bit like I mean, maybe it's also just the Fire because they're an expansion team, but it feels like a little smoother and like a little bit less of this like push and pull struggle to win games that I saw in the earlier games that she was in. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that.
I mean, even last year when she was out, like they didn't become this like horrible like team. Like they won the championship, whatever, the Commissioner's Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think that's a valid point.
I also think, like, I mean, obviously these are professional basketball players, but, like, so they can play. They're not going to
crumble.
Yeah, they're not going to crumble, but it is interesting to see, like, a team who's used to playing together typically will play better than a team that is, like, she's having these injuries.
Yeah.
And she's in and out of the lineup. I mean, I also think that, like, that probably is having some sort of effect on her turnovers as well. It's like you're not as agile or you're just not as focused because you're in pain.
Right.
Like, so...
Are you worried? Are you guys worried? I am concerned.
About her or about, like...
her back?
About her, like, consistency in the lineup going forward.
When I hear back, I'm like... what? Like, in my mind, I'm like, that's serious.
But then she's, like, on the sideline just kind of, like, laughing it up. I'm like, it's not like she's, like... Like, I'm like, I mean, she wouldn't show that on the
personality, too, but
yeah.
But I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I don't know what to think.
You don't know if it's, like, a serious...
Also, this rhetoric... that the language that the Fever are using is literally the exact same style as last year, and she was out. So I'm just like, I don't trust it at all.
No,
I don't. Well, I definitely don't trust them.
Yeah,
that would be so bad if she was out.
Imagine.
What?
The moment.
Guys, that's kind of the universe. Like, I feel like while we were talking about it, all of a sudden I was like,
she's not coming.
Like, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be a repeat of last year, is what it feels like.
I just am like, I feel like the thing that's hard for me too is the injuries that she has are, I don't know, they're just like really hard injuries.
Like nagging type of.
Yes, like a groin injury. Those are so hard to recover from because you step in the wrong way and it tweaks it and it just flares up again.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I remember Nafisa Collier talking about like having reoccurring back issues and straining her back over and over again, and like like the player that she was when she was having those issues is not the player that was like probably gonna she was like the final 2 MVP choices. Like it was between her and Asia.
Right.
Those were not the same players.
Right.
And so I think like the thing that's concerning for me, it's like, okay, it'd be one thing if she like sprained her ankle, or it'd be one thing if like, but a back strain, getting my back adjusted
Mid-game?
during the game?
Oh, where'd she go? You know.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, just
Getting her back adjusted.
little back seat, no worries.
Like so yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, I'm suddenly
I feel like a sense of
I'm feeling a sense of doom and despair. And the more we talk about it, the worse I feel.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously we'll have to see tomorrow because they're slated to play the Valks at what, 6:30?
Yeah, and she's like probable. Is that what she is right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also crazy once again that they're not releasing this until, even when she was injured for like a while, they would only do like morning of releases about it, which is crazy.
I think I need to spend some time looking at the injury reports for the other teams in the league to see
how they do it
to compare, because I'm like, that's something I haven't paid as close attention to before. But now that it's happening again, I think that's something I'm going to start paying attention to.
Yeah.
Just to compare.
Wow. Yikes.
Anything else to say on this topic?
No, I'm scared.
Fear.
Literally.
I feel like we should talk about, I want to talk about the Mystics.
You're blushing.
I want to talk about the Mystics because I feel like they are kind of defying like all laws of the WNBA right now, because they are a team of like a bunch of people who aren't old enough to rent a car.
Literally.
And they're doing really, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious about this because I think in years past, there's been a ton of talk about rookies' ability to transition into the league. And what we're seeing right now, because of expansion, is basically an entire team of like first and second year players who are doing so well, partially because they all played together in college.
Yeah.
So I wonder like how much of this transition is like, first of all, their knowledge of, they've all played with each other in college, because it's like, I mean, there's like, 2 Notre Dame players on the team, 2 UCLA players on the team. Like, there are all these players who like have experience playing with each other and then also against each other. Yeah. So they've scouted each other. So they've all scouted each other. They've all played with each other in practice and in games. So I'm wondering is, do you think the transition conversation that has been had about the W has more or less to do with like space, like roster space for people? Because I mean, like, this young core is doing things that I've never heard
You're
of.
saying like because they have the opportunity, because they're literally the only people on the roster is like young players. They're just
I think like basically what I'm getting at is like, do you think that some of the really tough transition issues that we've seen in the past with like people not being able to make rosters is like it's because they're
issue?
Like part of it's partially a chemistry issue.
I mean, I think that's fascinating. Like, yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, because you also think about it, too, where it's like you come onto this new team and you essentially have, like, 2 weeks. Like, even if you are, like, a vet, like, you're coming onto a roster that could be completely different, and you guys have, like, 2 or 3 weeks to learn how to play together. So I think that's difficult, period. And maybe that kind of chemistry thing a little bit, like, trumps that and squashes that, where it's like, yeah, maybe even if it is hard for a rookie to transition into the league, if you're putting them around people who they know how to play with, it eases that transition a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. I think, the chemistry. I think also rookies just like increasingly are like league ready. Like,
that too.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. Like, is it just because like the training that they're getting at their
better, like the product is
better,
more
right?
Men and women's basketball.
Yeah, like the more resources go towards like women's basketball programs, like better, like just resources, like training, like coaching, like they're just more ready when they get there.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it, but I agree. I think like especially with the Mystics, like you said, like so many of them have played together or against each other like so recently that it's just gonna be way more seamless than like if you're kind of a rookie going on to like you're the only rookie on a team.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what team is like that right now. Is Olivia Miles the only rookie? But she's different. She's like Olivia Miles. But yeah, like when you have to go in and you're like, yeah.
I also think it helps that their point guard sat the bench injured and was able to just watch with the coach for an entire season.
Yeah.
Like, she's technically a rookie, but she knows the schemes like way better than any other rookie would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I think they're just a fascinating case study.
I know.
Yeah, they are. So they're 2-2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about oh no, you go. I was gonna say thinking about where they even were like 2 years ago, like this is amazing.
Yeah.
They are so good at the draft. I don't like.
So who did they didn't they fire their? Who was it? Like someone related to.
Yeah, it was one of their like recruit.
Yeah.
Team. I can't remember her title, but I do remember. And I
drafting.
Yeah, like her role was basically to handle the draft and like who scout and like who are we gonna pick and all that kind of stuff, which is very interesting to me because I'm like, I want to know.
Because it was after last year and I was like, wait, but you did a great job.
Right, like last year, their draft picks were so good.
But then so she left because there were like differences in what they wanted. But I'm like, but they're still like, who did she want? If not, I mean, I feel like they did a good job again.
Yeah,
I know.
I agree. I think
It's kind of crazy
combo.
Yeah,
so good.
That is so
but
good.
Continue, Sid.
No, I think like if you look at who Kiki Irifan, Sonia Citron, once again, two people who seem to. It was like they just blinked and were like an all WNBA duo.
Yeah.
And now they're just, I don't know, like this is just.
But they're like the vets of their team in year 2.
Literally.
There's like I think there's like one person on the roster who's like over 26. One.
So good.
That's crazy.
Them youngins.
Just
so
young and I mean all their games, except for the Wings when the Wings kind of blew them out, have been like super close.
Yeah.
I know.
Even the other one they lost. So I don't know what happened with the Wings, but
I mean, I feel like it happens. You drop a game. Like same thing with like Aces Mercury. Like I'm like, okay, they dropped that game.
Everyone gets a little blowout.
Like, they can still win the WNBA finals.
Just do what they did last year.
Yeah, exactly. So
true. Shout out to the Mystics.
Shout out to the Mystics.
Keep an eye.
Guys
all
have like
rookie
a third
team, all WNBA rookies.
I know. They have like a third eye when it comes to drafting people. Anything else that you guys want to talk about?
No, that's it. Well,
What?
I said I think that's it.
Oh.
We'll have like a new slate of games to go over next week, though, and we'll.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have some answers about this Caitlyn situation because this is
what a mystery.
Tomorrow.
I need to know.
Yeah.
What a mystery.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Till next time.